Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, like this beautiful body of light right here, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are, the 369ers. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours, or shall I say from my third eye to your third eye. I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from nowhere other than 5D dimension number 5. While I'm out here and I'm looking up, because I've been sitting out here meditating with these stars. They twinkling a little bit differently, right? I'm out here in the wee hours. This is like hours after the meeting. Of course, we finish at about 12 or so, and then I have to woo-saw because it takes a lot of energy, and then regroup and come out under the stars. And so it's the wee hours, and the stars are looking a little different. Let me say that. Why I keep looking at them like they out here. The communication is up. The galactic intercom has been like flicked on for those who are really tapped in and who have really crossed the barriers, and the barriers are being sealed. The barriers are being sealed. These are just looking different. Like I'm sitting here looking at the stars wondering, like, are you really a star? And one is twinkling a little bit differently, so it's like, twinkle twinkle little star. Right now it's really how I wonder what you are. I'm really wondering what you are. And the star look like little droplets. I can't even turn the camera around and give you, the camera's not doing it justice, believe me. I tried. It looks like elongated. You know how the stars usually look like, more like the moon with a little glow around it, little dot with a little glow around it. It's looking like 1, 2, 3, like teardrops. 1, 2, 3, and I'm seeing it in all of them. So anyhow, just to bring you into my ambiance under the stars, this is what the third eye is doing. And we're on the third eye day. Even though it's the wee hours of the next day, I haven't slept yet, so I'm still in my third eye day, which is the 999, which brings me to what I'm talking to you about. Happy 999 portal, 999, just like last year was 888. This is 999. It's a triple spiritual completion. This is a very pivotal day. This is the high point of this pivotal month, because this entire month is a 9-9. Right? So we usually would have the 9-9 portal, but being that this is a universal year, this entire month is a 9-9 portal. You can call it a whole vortex of a month. And within it, you're going to have the 999, not just today. We're going to have it 2 more times. You're going to see it on the 18th and on the 27th. You're going to see this 999. And in this 999, in this day particularly, for those who see it, those who resonate with it, it's a 4th 9, and that 9, which I'm going to talk about later because I got a little mini download about it. And the 4th 9 is when you add up all the days. Right? So what's so important? What some may be asking, like I've heard questions like, what is the 9? What does 9 represent? What's so special about the 999? Because you're seeing people put it down everywhere. For one, the collective consciousness is what adds power to the portals. And so the collective consciousness, whether they are aware of what 99 is or not, they're all aware that this is a 999 by the Gregorian calendar that most people go by still. It's a 999. 9 means spiritual completion. For those of you who have been with me, you already know, because we've been talking about this through the 369 during the month of June, when we kept seeing 369 and we had a 369 vortex. So we know that 3, 6, and 9 are 3 main portals, 3 main dimensional portals. Right? The third 3 is creative completion, 6 is receptive completion, 9 is spiritual completion. And they mean other things, but just to understand it's a completion of 3s. They're sets of 3s. 3, 3, 3. 3 3s make 9. 2 3s make 6. So the first set of 3 is a creative completion. Stack that creative completion with another stack, and you're going to have receptive completion. Stack that with another set, and you're going to have a spiritual completion. that returns you back to the isness of time within the infinite nine. Ashe? Because their numbers all go through 9, up to 9, 1 through 9 and back again, cycle out. And so this completion is very potent, if you will. This is really mapping out a pivotal time that is closing out some barriers, energetic barriers, if you will. We're closing out old karmic cycles, right? While we have this full moon, this is happening within the full moon window. For those of you who know, when we're doing this workshop, whenever there's a full moon, the most potent days are 3 days before, 3 days after. So up until the 10th, we're still in that window of the full moon and its effect. So the 9, which comes 2 days after it, we're still in that window. So we have the full moon, we have what's happening with the full moon, along with the portal of the 999, and then Saturn in Pisces is really closing out. And I have found myself saying that repeatedly in the workshop, that it's closing out. Saturn is there and it's saying, hey, let's close out this karma. It's giving us a chance to retrospect, let's close this out. There are definitely some major closures that are happening, and it's for us to recognize them. We are definitely hitting a fence in time, if you will. We're hitting that barrier where we can no longer carry on in the same way. It's understanding that in this closure, that dynamics are changing. If the shift is happening, and that means shit is happening, the shift is happening. So there are dynamics that are changing, and these are just some of the things that have been coming up in the meetings. I'm going to do a post full moon. I did do a video. Let me sidebar. I did do a video on the full moon, on the night of the full moon, or the wee hours like this, and I just did not send it. So I'll think about, if I want to send it, because there was a heavy spiritual attack the day right after the full moon. I don't know how many people were feeling it, but I know it's not just me. And it was one of those moments where you're just feeling like, what am I doing? Like you're in limbo somewhere. I know I'm doing what I'm doing, but you're feeling like, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? You're feeling like all kind of feelings, just put it that way, all kind of mental attacks, mental spiritual attacks. And you could be feeling like like I call it the Paul in the book of Acts type of theory, which is when Paul is saying something like, the thing I need to do, I'm not doing. And I'm not doing what I need to do. And some may be feeling like that, like, what am I doing? What should I be doing? I feel like I'm doing something, but what is it? And it has to do with a lot of settling the frequencies that are coming through, and there's some acclimating that is happening. There are our nervous system is acclimating to these frequencies, to these dynamic shifts, to these changes. Because think about it, when you're closing out something, especially for those of us who are closing out something major, and we're really getting the point, there's something that has been streaming in us, and it's like we really got it now. But when you get it, now it has to process through you a certain way, and it all depends on how you're processing it, is how you're getting it and how it's processing through you. So you may go through and it leaves an opening for there to be an attack, because best believe those archons are lay waiting. The desperate energies are right there lay waiting, that as soon as we feel a little shaky, it wants to start poking the demiurge, right? But the key is, this is why it's so important to build up yourself, like some of us were saying from the halls of Amenti, to build up yourself to where you know the difference between good and evil. Do you know? This is where the Sophia wisdom has risen in you, where you know the difference between good and evil. And it's just a matter of knowing that this too shall pass. However, you also need to take your time to rest. Cut off all outside external factors, right? No matter how important you think it is. I had important, like it could be something like South Node type of stuff, like South Node, which is very practical and, kind of like earth sign and taking care of business. And it's like, yeah, we need to get this done, but we have to have the wisdom and the balance and the patience within ourselves to say, you know what, now, not right now. Do not allow anything to enter and penetrate your space and your mind within this time right now. Allow it to process through you. And that time has passed. Some of us may already be, coming out of it, but it was really, really heavy the day after, which was Monday. Yes, which was the day before today, the day before the 999. It was weighing. So anyhow, to bring that back to the 999 and what's important about it, not only is it this closure, but it is helping us to step into the next phase, setting the boundaries and closing out, like making a bold statement of what you are no longer going to be a part of or allowing. Like, that's you setting your boundary. It's not about telling the world your boundary, but it's about knowing what this boundary is within you. It's about telling it to yourself, but more than just telling it, there's a knowing within you that just knows this can be no more. And so under the moon, right? She is bringing the understanding under the moon. Let those beams of light come in and tap into your crown under the moon and within the realms of the stars. Let the cosmos guide the way. Let your crown be open to this communication that we're stepping into, and set those boundaries. Let it bring to you the peace that surpasses all understanding, so you know that you know that you know what shall be no more, and know it in your heart, at a heart vibration, at a heart coherency, at a heart vibration, so you know this is it. And you prepare yourself for what is to come with it. What are the consequences of it, and be ready to deal with it, because as those dynamics change, we have to realize that we have to change. And that's part of this closure. It's not enough to just say, okay, closure time. It's the energies guiding us, pushing us, asking us to say, I see what this is. I resonate with this. I recognize and remember my soul's task at hand, and know that this is what I'm here for. And to hold on to that with conviction, so that you can hold in your heart what needs to be done in this closure, in this pivotal moment of closure. All right, so let me share a little bit of the 999 download of what is happening with this 999. So the 999, and bear with me because I ain't got my ring light. That was one of the things that happened on that day. Broke the ring light, so we got to use whatever natural little light we could use. So this 999 portal is a trinity completion, which holds the power of 3 factor exponentially as a spiritual completion to the 3rd power of creative completion. So it's just highlighting how it's holding the power of 3 factor, that factor of power of 3, which when you think of it, 999, that's 9 3 times, that's an exponent of 3 to the 9. So exponentially it's happening. It's holding it as this spiritual completion to the 3rd power. That's the exponent. The 3rd power, and 3 being what? Creative completion. So the 3rd power as this creative completion. So you can look at it like spiritual completion to the 3rd power of creative completion. Right? That creative completion, meaning there's something creating. Creative activity is usually the masculine energy. It's something that is doing. It is an action. It is a form of action that is happening, that is taking place of the spiritual completion. Right? So the triple effect of the spiritual completion holds creative power to actively close out the collapsing timeline and seal the barriers of doubt and hesitation, to step into the new true timeline of the forward movement in 5D that expresses the creation in time. Right? And as I say that, not only to know that it's closing out the collapsing timelines and it's sealing those barriers, the barriers of doubt and hesitation that a lot of us may have, because we see and we know what's better, but we have a lot of hesitations because of our ties to people, to certain relationships, to situations. Because of those ties, it puts hesitations in our lives. And I wanted to say it puts hesitation in our lives or within the lies, right? To step into this new timeline, right? So we're closing it out so we can seal what needs to be sealed in the barriers and then step into what is new for us. And it's within the 5D, which is all about expressing what? The creation of time. So this is where one's validate, in this moment right now, this is where one's validate their own journey by closing out their illusions of service to operate in their true service, which activates their transmission in time. That transmission now is being activated on another level, hence the stars doing what they do. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. It's being activated. It's where we're validating in our journey. We're validated by what we do that is closing out a lot of things, and we're seeing these closures. And for some, it may be a little unnerving, unsettling, because again, it has to pass through our nervous system. We're processing it. It's things that we have to break. Speaking of third eye, what's so good about this third eye is like, you know, keep your third eye open on 999. We have to be willing to use all the attributes of the third eye, which is being able to see beyond personal biases, being able to see beyond your perspective, your perception, being able to see beyond what you perceive to be true, which means these are the barriers that we're breaking. These are the illusions that we're breaking, because we're not just talking about outside illusions of, oh yeah, that's an illusion, I see that. No, we're talking about things that you have holding on to that you believe to be true, but have not yet uncovered that it is an illusion. This is what these things that are coming up are bringing us. And this is what I brought to the attention, even in the, you know, the meeting a little bit about understanding the full moon. Not a little bit, a lot of it. Because the full moon, the cosmic spotlight, brings to you what you need to deal with. So what is happening now in your life that is posing something to you? And I mean the little things. Someone that called you, a conversation, something at work. Nothing is outside of spirit. Right? It's not when you come and listen to these videos, whether it be this one or someone else. It's not just only when you do these things that you're plugging into spirit. Spirit is always plugged into you. And these cosmos in time are bringing us what needs to be looked at. Is showing us. Saturn is saying, here, clean this up. The moon is highlighting it. While it was in Pisces, specifically the lunar eclipse in Pisces, where Saturn is. And it's saying, close this out. And some of the things that are closing out are definitely karmic cycles from past lives. Something that you have been drudging with in this lifetime that comes from past lives, that it's saying it's time to let this go. It's time to stop leaning on certain things in your south node as a crutch. It is time to close these things out. And in the closing out, we're closing out what we see as service. And I mean service in relationships. Because how you were in any dynamic, and I'm talking about closing wounds and all of that, however you were in any dynamic is a service. If you have some unhealed wounds, that's a service. Who were you servicing? Who were you protecting? Who were you keeping? And right now it's being masked under compassion. So we're being asked to look at what we call look at the compassion. We have to screen everything right now. In our closure, it's time to step your game up. It's time to step it up a notch. That's what needs to be done. What is the action step? It's one thing to know all these things, and another thing is, what is the action step? What is the call to action? What is the power of 3, the exponent of 3 of creative completion to this spiritual completion? And it's highlighting to us there's decisions that we have to make. That determines where we are in this closure. Decisions that have to be made. Tough decisions that say, I have to screen these things that I am calling good gestures, and oh, I'm having compassion, or I'm being the better one, or I'm being the bigger one, or I'm doing the right thing. The right thing can very much well be subjective. And we have to observe what is happening and be a little bit more objective with ourselves. We got to be a little bit more scientific with ourselves. You know how scientists go by what is actually happening, like what they are seeing, what they are witnessing in the experience or the experiment for them. For us, it's in the experience, which is the experiment of our lifetime. The experiment, knowing that the simulation that we're in, that the demiurge, the archons that are right there, it's all part of the simulation. But do you witness? It's what's most important is not that you fight these things, but that you witness it, and that you expose the truth for what it is. That you act in a way that amplifies and activates, that authenticates the vibratory field. That our actions say we will not bear witness to inauthenticity and allow it to just slide by. Right? With others, be mindful, be watchful, be very sharp in your third eye of those loved ones and those who are coming around to test the waters with you. This is what the closure is saying. It's saying no more. Testing the waters is not okay anymore, because now you see, and you call it out, and you say, hey, I see you. I see what this is, and I'm not willing to give my energy and my time to this. I don't care how cruel it looks. Closure, boundary. Sometimes for a lot of us, it's just a matter of saying no to people at the most inconvenient time for them. And being able to say, even when you've told someone, hey, yes, I will do this for you, being able to say, no, I will not be able to. So with that said, be mindful of what you sign up for and onto. Be mindful of what you say, yes, I can help here, or yes, I can help there, because that help is what you're of service to. And then you put an obligation on you, and it takes up headspace. And there's so much coming in right now with the communication with the cosmos of time, with the ethers, with the galactic families. And you want to keep that space open for this next timeline, open and free, and not clogged with densities from either you or others. It's clearing those densities and breaking those density connections that we have with others. There's all types of levels of disclosure that is happening. Disclosure, right? See, there we go. All type of levels of disclosure. Disclose things. And this is happening at a time why it's so pivotal, the ninth month of September. And it's so funny because November, N-O-V, really represents 9, the number 9. So it's actually preparing us for that 9, that when it comes, we'll be able to stand firm in these frequencies, and we'll have an alliance and be in alignment with what is true, what is authentic, what is in the timeline, so that when things start happening, we're able to honor truth. We're able to hold respect. Respect was another big word that's been coming up. Hold respect. Do you respect yourself enough to set boundaries within yourself so that the boundaries are already set on the external. And a lot of this is with this triple spiritual completion. Why is it so important? It's important to have this leveling up because 9 is returning to the isness, of course, and 9 is that completion, that when you get to the end of that cycle of that infinite 9, you loop up to the next cycle. And there definitely is a looping up that is happening with the outer planets specifically. We're going to be given an opportunity in that month, in November, in Scorpio season, particularly while Black Moon Lilith is in Scorpio. We're going to be given that opportunity to do what needs to be done while the outer planets are in between, right? Before they go permanently into their house. This is why a lot of this is very important, because they're oscillating right now. They stepped into their new house, and then a lot of them are retrograding back, like Saturn just went back into Pisces. Uranus just hit retrograde at 1 degree of Gemini, so it's definitely going to dip back into Taurus, and we all need to look out. We all need to be on the lookout, because it's giving us an opportunity to wrap up some things. Ashe, this may be the 9th for the massive and the mass collective consciousness, but the 9th month, and if you look on the 5D calendar, the 9th month, that is going to be this is an underlying pivotal 9th month for those who can catch it, is the season of Scorpio, as that being the 9th, right? Is it the 9th or the 8th? 7th, 8th. It's the 8th, but it's within the 9th month, what is supposed to be the 9th of November. Ashe? So Scorpio to the Sagittarius, because at the end of November is going to be Sagittarius, and that is officially the 9th month by the cosmos of time, the 9th house, the 9th month. So there is a trickle effect. Maybe that's why I'm seeing the little star drops. It's like this little trickle effect. It's like, and I'm seeing them in threes. Like for those of you who know what Orion's belt looked like, that's the first 3 that I saw. And you could see that that's very obvious. 1, 2, 3. And then it was like little 1, 2, 3s here, 1, 2, 3s there. And that's what we're seeing now. Little trickle effect is happening now in what is the obvious 9th month to everyone. And then there's November. And then there's when it actually touches into Sagittarius, that is cosmically the 9th month, according to the cosmos. So, and after that, when everything goes direct again, probably around February or so, these outer planets are going to take up their official position in their new house. It's my house and I live here. So this completion is a big whoop. This portal is really inviting us in deeply into ourselves. And before I go to speak to that, number 9 of the day was, if you add up all the numbers in the date, you're going to get 27. 27 is a 9. So that is the 4th 9. And for those who resonate with it, and especially if you were seeing 999, then you are being numerologically activated. Definitely. And those who have a life 99, which is what was said here, there's also a bonus 9, as the number code of the universal date is 9 reduced from 27. So there's definitely divine numerology activation codes that activates those with the life path 9 reduced from 27. So the 27 niners, y'all always hear me talking to the 369ers, but the 27 niners, if you check your life path, and it is a 9 by the totality of 27, so 27 niner. And so numerologically, you're being divinely activated in connection to this completion. So there is something in that for you. However it resonates, take it how it leaves it. You know, I don't know exactly what to tell you what your activation is, but there is something there in it for you. There is something being brought up in it for you, especially if you allow it. Ashe. So there's a fourth 9 in this spiritual completion code, in which this emphasizes a foundational balance of spiritual completion for those who resonate with it. So that 4 is this foundational balance, meaning you are foundationally set within this 9. There's something for those who see that, who really actually see those 4 9s, that there is a foundational balance with you in the spiritual completion. And it's to hold that balance, not just for you, but for others. Be the balance for others. And I'm seeing like 4 tires for some reason. I'm seeing like when there's lightning, they always say when there's lightning, the best place to be is in a car, because the rubber is a protection. The 4 tires, the rubber on the road is some type of protection. So it's like I'm kind of seeing it that way. Like, be those 4 balanced tires for those who are in the midst of all kind of lightning right now. Ashe. So with that, that's what I have on the 999. Thank you for being with me in our consciousness, in our minds, and opening up the barriers of time, so that we can see that when we look back and rewind, we move forward with our transmissions in time. Ashe. So with that said, faithfully, this is working out for you all. Remember to give yourself time and space. Allow yourselves to not be inundated with the external things and relationships. Be okay with releasing. Be okay with being alone. Be okay with saying no. And really screen your phone calls, screen everything, screen all situations, because everything is like a smoke screen. It's going to come to you in smiles. Make sure you screen it. Screen your own thoughts. Take nothing at surface level value. Every layer has to be peeled back. Leave no stone unturned. That type of thing. Ashe. So remember, I didn't say it before, so if you're looking for the 5D calendars, you can get them at akilahtextri@gmail.com. If you're looking for even readings, I'm opening myself up to that. If you want to know your natal chart and see how this is working very tightly with you, especially this month, you really want to know, like, okay, what is my path? What is my guidance? What is it that I need to be doing? So if you're looking for that, you can email me and I will send you the information for a one-on-one. Is there anything else? And any upcoming workshops, feel free to reach out. With that said, peace, love, light. Let your flames ignite and be the best you can be as our souls take flight. Woo, woo, woo. Peace and love to you all.